Hello, good evening. Noswaith, I'm talking quietly because the children are upstairs asleep. Here we are for a video on the Tavern of Legends. The Leg End Tavern, as I like to call it. Final stage, I will of course be taking my favourite of time stops, antidotes, healing potions, and I got some mana potions. I've actually ran out of it's really hard to craft regular mana potion. These little minor mana potions, because I've run out of large bone, which is well, let's be honest, it's a problem I've had in the past. So let's not go into detail further than that. I'm not sure what heroes I'm going to be up against. Do I go? I'll probably go with 3 of one colour, or I could go with 4 greens. Let's go 4 greens. Let's go heavily green colour stacking. Let me just double check. I'm going to swap in riskily. I'm going to put in K1 because some of these enemy bosses, it's worth having a debuffer for them. I'm not sure who I'll be facing. Quite. Yeah, I'm going to risk this. I'm going to risk this team. I don't know how it'll go. I got the right colour for one of the sets of mobs anyway. There might be information online you can find as to what colours are likely to come up on the event. I don't know. I got 2 healers. Obviously, Mother North is kind of key, and I'm very, very lucky to have her. She takes a lot of the pressure off if things go a little bit wrong. You don't have to pay quite so close attention to the hero's health all the time. If somebody does accidentally die, she can generally bring them back. Yeah, a bit like that woman in Game of Thrones, just slightly different looking. Lots of quite slow screens at the moment. Of course, there's no real hurry here, so that's not necessarily a problem. A long time ago, when I was sort of young at the game, I remember level missions like this where it would take me, up to sort of 25 minutes sometimes to get through, just because I had to play them so carefully and be sort of constantly, like between each wave, I'd recharge all my energy, which was really sort of crucial to moving forwards. If ever so basically each wave I'd start with everybody as close to full health as possible, and with all of their mana charged and what have you, which I have done videos on that before, the sort of slow way to sort of charge up heroes. On the subject of videos, again, I have to apologise, I'm a little bit behind on my comments at the moment. Please don't take it personally, I will get around to replying at some point. I've just been, I've kind of been busy, but I've also been kind of managing my time really badly, which comes, I think, of coronavirus at times. You sort of have the best laid plans, but then you end up just sitting and staring at your phone, looking up things on Wikipedia you really don't need to know anything about, but which just suddenly come into your head, watching random stuff on TV. It's that kind of excuse, really, which isn't much of an excuse. Not making good use of my free time, but then again, hey, it's my time. So, as you can see, all sort of relatively straightforward so far. The mobs are pretty tough by the time you get to this stage, but they're not, they're not horrendous. It's more or less 4 waves of warm-up and then the bosses. I will hopefully get a screen with at least a sort of reasonable number of greens on it before I have to face them, but we'll see how that pans out. I think I'm going to go Atmos here first. Atmos, of course, has got the advantage that he gets sort of like a double chance to die, in effect, because he'll come back to life automatically with his special skills, really. Oh, that was lucky. I assumed Gravemaker was going to be one of the bosses, so I was thinking that green might have been a really bad colour to choose, but actually, it looks as if he isn't, which is good news. 2 healers though, which is going to make things fairly slow potentially, unless I'm well, I'll probably just time stop them to keep it fairly straightforward. I'm going to go for this is not Kunshin, Aeron. Sorry, I always get the two confused. Kunshin and Aeron, but Aeron is he's a reasonable hero healer. He's heals over time, which I think is never quite as effective as healing outright, because it can be debuffed. But he's still quite a decent healer. Delilah there again is another sort of fairly good healer. Her little minions, they were sort of some of the earliest minions I remember going in the game actually. So this is where I'll time stop them. There may have been, I mean, I know there was what's the name? Thotha Moon had a minion, but he never really stood out. Whereas I think Delilah, for a time, was a tank you used to see a lot of. Perhaps that ages me. Don't sort of tend to see around so much now. Atomals can go mad. For one thing, I will say with Tavern of Legends is they don't seem to gain mana quite as quickly as they do on some of the events, which is quite nice because these sort of on some of the events they seem to gain mana so quickly. You can still time stop them and stuff, but it just makes it a lot more tricky. So if I time stop them now, because their mana's all have got nearly full mana bars, it won't matter that I do this red move, which is almost certainly not going to it won't do me any good. It'll only feed them mana. My Hero Academy is still being built at the minute, which is why I keep meaning to upgrade my Hunter's Lodge and get a few extra funky battle items, which are quite handy for Path of Valor. But I just haven't got the iron at the moment. I'm not going to do the time stop quite yet. Probably the next move, because it's I don't think, even though her shot is perfect, never actually finishes anyone. It can't be that perfect shot. Oh, there we go. It's also very interesting that it's called Perfect Shot, but if she's been blinded by another hero, so this is I'm talking about, what's her name here, Liana. If Liana's been blinded by another hero, her special skill is still called Perfect Shot, but it actually sometimes misses its target, which just seems a little bit ironic, really. But there you go. Strange goings on. I assumed that Gravemaker was going to be one of the bosses that I'd be facing, because he was one of the bosses that I saw on the earlier stages of the Path of Valor, and he is, of course, he's a very popular hero. You see him an awful lot on a lot of top teams, or at least as far as I know, he's still up there. I haven't been looking at the top teams much of late. Some of the big spenders tended to have at least one Gravemaker, if not more. I think there's another time stop going to go on here just to make this easier for me. Probably don't need to strictly now, as I'm kind of getting quite an advantage over them anyway. But never mind. Green, of course, is not weak against green. It does exactly the same damage as it just does to all the other colours, except for green's weak against red. So none of the heroes are actually sort of strong against my colour, which is quite handy. And I think one of my little gnomes did the finishing move. No, they're not gnomes, are they? They're elves. And it's a shame. I'd prefer if they were gnomes. Lots of not much going on, really. If this was a challenge event, this wouldn't be a great score. I'll probably, I'll use the time stop now. I build time stops basically for the last stages of the what do you call it? Mine's gone blank. Obviously I build them for the last stage of Tavern of Legends, and also the skills challenges. Those ones where you can gain all the class emblems. Are they called class challenges? Whatever they're called, those ones. Because I find they can be quite tricky, because you can be very limited on which heroes you can take. can really make things a little bit harder. And yeah, Tavern of Legends, the last one, is always pretty tricky. Same with costume, the costume ball ones as well. There we go. Anyway, so that's that nicely safely out of the way. That gets me my 40 odd legend coins, which means it's time to go and get summoned. Let's see now. The battle, it's already over. Well, that was quite a brawl, and all of us had use for our special skills. Except you, Alberich. I don't think you weren't actually there, so you didn't use your special skills. It seems combining our powers made us stronger after all. So, yep. Thanks, dead lady. Stronger together. We've got to always remember, Gravemaker talks like Mickey Mouse. Really important. Good work, everyone. There we go. And that just means that all we have to do now to finish off is do our summons. As you can see, I've got a lot of summon coins just cluttering up the place. New in Legend summons. Grazul. It doesn't matter, I won't get any of them. So let's see which 3 stars I get today. Boo! Priska. And my other 3-star will be Carver. There we are. As exciting as ever. It's like, and then you get this at the top. Look at what you could have won. There seemed to be an awful lot of, heck of a lot of 5 stars that I could have won. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm sure it just feels like there's more 5 stars, heroes of the month than there are standard heroes. But never mind. As ever, all I'm getting is Season 1 heroes. And as ever, I'm bored of it. But never mind. Let's not dwell on that. Anyway, so there we go. So that was as gripping a summon as ever I managed. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Always appreciate it. I am sorry that I'm behind on the comments. I will try and catch up, like I say. All it remains for me now to say is thank you for watching, and may death come swiftly to your enemies. Take care of yourselves now. This is Farmer Ben saying goodbye. Bye.